Welcome to North Texas Networkers, a show about connecting people across the DFW Metroplex. As realtors, we get the opportunity to meet and work with a variety of interesting people.
And this is our chance to introduce you to them. Join us as we talk with our community influencers, share their inspiring stories, and reveal how and why they shape our local communities.
I'm your host, Caralee Gurney.
And I'm your co-host, Stacy Revely.
Thank you for joining us. Hello, I'm Caralee.
And I'm Stacy.
We're so glad to be here with you today, and we also are thankful for our sponsor, Craig Schrank with Willow Bend Mortgage. We love having the show, and we're thankful to you for it. Today we have Sheri Messer with City House. She's not only one of my favorite people, City House is one of my favorite charities, and I think it's one of Stacy's as well.
It's close to my heart.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, Sheri.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Well, I was going to say we're just glad to have you. And first, just tell us a little bit about you. I know one of your daughters, but
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay. Well, I grew up here, not in Plano, but I grew up in Garland. So I've been here all my life. My husband and I moved to Plano 22 years ago. I can remember that because of my baby's age. And I have 3 daughters. My oldest is 26, and then I have a 24-year-old and a 21-year-old, soon to be 22, and you know her.
Yes.
My husband and my 2 younger daughters are in a business together, also in real estate investments, and they do new construction for some pretty beautiful homes. I'm still waiting for him to build mine.
It's like the cobbler whose children don't have shoes.
Yes. Exactly. I know. And I had a corporate career until my mid-50s and did a lot of volunteering during that time, and that's how I figured out what space I really had passion for. And City House was it. So I had the opportunity to start there as a volunteer, and I am truly blessed now to be running the nonprofit and just doing what I love.
That's amazing. Well, Caralee and I have both known about City House for a long time through our work with Junior League. One of my early placements was with City House, and so we were at the old house off downtown Plano area.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember one of our projects was going in and being adult role models. So we would be in there on a regular basis.
Wait,
The
were
Junior
an adult,
League members.
but you were an adult role
They let
model?
me be an adult role model. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I see where you're going.
I know, it's amazing, but they let me do it. And so we had a Christmas party for the kids, and they gave us a wish list of a few things that they wanted. And there was this one girl that just had this tough outer skin. And she opened up her 2 music CDs and broke into tears because nobody had ever given her something that nice.
Wow.
And I was hooked. I'm like, okay, I'm done. This is it. I love this organization. So you've been there how long now as the CEO?
4 years.
4
A little
years.
over 4 years. So
That's great.
yeah, and I'm loving it.
Good.
And I'm totally teasing. Stacy's
I know. And the Junior League does a lot for City House. They've continued, so that's been a great relationship too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I actually volunteered at City House before I got in the Junior League, and
YMSL was it?
No,
Or
I just as a volunteer, I was so blown away by the organization, and I worked at a bank that was involved in City House, and so I used to go over there once a week and just help with
out?
the kids, either in the kitchen or I worked at a bank, so a lot of times I go help them with balancing a checkbook or different things like that. So
Were you? Did you go to the shelter or
the
did
Avenue
you?
K location?
Okay, so you were at the Resource Center and TLP program, transitional living.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about some of the programs that City House offers now.
So we have started as a 6-bed teen shelter, and now we are a 48-bed, multifaceted agency, and we really focus in on that birth to 24 population and really specialize in that area. And that's the area that I have passion for these young people that are brought into the world without a choice, and then they're in bad situations, so we can help them. But we have a shelter, birth to 17, and that we call that building My Friend's House. But it is an emergency shelter program, but we do that by design, so the kids go back into school, and when they talk to their friends, when they're asking, where are you staying, they can say My Friend's House instead of a shelter. So we serve CPS kids, Child Protective Services, and community kids in that program. And then we have 3 residential homes. There's 24 beds in the shelter, and there's 24 beds in our transitional living program. 3 residential homes that the kids are 18 up to their 22nd birthday. And it's a program. It's really helping them learn how to be independent and on their own, and, successful citizens and contributors. And they can stay with us anywhere from, 6 months to 18 months. We don't cut the line off if they need a little bit more time. We work with them. And our goal there is to really teach them skills they didn't get taught at home. But, checkbook, how do you balance your checkbook? How do you get a job? Some of them don't even have any identification, so we help them do that. We also have another housing program recently to City House about 2.5 years ago called Rapid Rehousing, and that's 18 to 24, and that's a HUD-funded program, and it's really housing first, and it's really all about getting kids off the street and in housing. So we have those 2 options. The programming is not as extensive, but it's great work that we're doing. And then finally, our Street Youth Resource Center, which we just moved from a beautiful old home, 3,300 square feet, to a gorgeous state-of-the-art 5,800 square foot facility. The kids now, we offer showers, we offer washer and dryer, we offer computer lab. There's a huge clothing closet. Our old clothing closet was a rack about this big, and now it's about 500 square feet, maybe even bigger, full of brand new clothes.
It's amazing.
And yeah, it's a
I've
great
seen it.
facility. So those are that's the population that we serve, and all the different programming.
So for the resource center, is that just for the clients of the City House program, or is that for any teen throughout the community that needs assistance, like one-time kind of touch?
Anybody can come in.
Okay.
But when they do come in, they're greeted, and they fill out an application. So we want to record that they came in. They don't have to come back every day, but they could come in, just one day and then not come back for a month, and some of them come every day. It's just, and if anybody walks in the door, we're going to greet them and see what we can do to help them.
That's great.
And just as far as the growth of the program goes, when it originally started, there was no way they were staying there as long as they are now, right?
In terms of the
how long a child could stay at City House. Didn't it used to just be like a 30-day limit?
Well, the emergency shelter program for CPS, we can keep them up to 90 days. But if there's not a safe place, if they've not figured out a safe place to go, then they go back in front of the judges, and every time they give them extensions.
That's good.
And then our community kids, we are restricted by our grant funding that they can only stay 21 days. So that's an area of service, a gap in service that we're looking at and wanting to try to explore options to be able to keep the under 18 population that are not CPS, but keep them for, year to 2 years. So that's something we're looking at. Now our TLP program is up to 18 months, and again, give or take. So it's all different depending on what program you're in.
And TLP stands for?
Transitional Living Program.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
We have a lot of acronyms.
We do too. We have to remember. Okay, does someone know what that means? So,
I know.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Absolutely.
We just came up with a new one on Friday in our staff meeting.
Another
it's
acronym.
client first culture, and the first is a 1, so C1C. That's our newest one.
Culture. I like that. That's very good.
So, what you came from an executive position with a large corporation, and you said, "I've had enough of this."
Yeah.
So, what made you change? What made you say?
I was just burnt out. I was I had a great career.
You did.
And
You were very successful.
It was very fulfilling and rewarding, and I got to do a lot of things. But I really wanted to give back. I really just that's been my desire, because there have been those bad days at the corporate office, and I would go look for a nonprofit job, because you do have this perception that, oh, everybody's wonderful. Well, and that's not the case. I work harder now, I think. But it's so funny. I was meeting with some folks from United Way, and I was telling them this story, and they said, oh, it's so funny. We've been in nonprofit, and on our bad days, we're looking for corporate jobs. The grass is always greener, right? But yeah, it was in my mid-50s, and I just, my husband and I, we were in a position where I could make a career change, and he was making his career change because he was stay-at-home dad for almost 11 years. And so I think God just blessed us with the great timing that we could kind of shift and it's hard work. Don't get me wrong. It's hard work. Absolutely. It's emotional. And, even our case managers and program managers that are on the front line, I mean, they deal with, the really deep stuff. And we are always concerned about compassion fatigue and then self-care. But now I'm doing what I love and making a difference, because to me, that's what's most important. I mean, that's my take on it. So. Yeah.
Great. Well, very good. Well, so what are some ways that people support City House? What are some activities or events that you guys have going on that raise the funds to be able to do the work you're doing?
Yeah. So we have such a good volunteer base. So first, we do have over 2,000 volunteers, and believe me, we use them because we have 5 properties. And so they just last year alone, the hours that we got from volunteers, it was over $500,000 worth of volunteer hours. And I think about that because I think about what we couldn't do if we didn't have that. But then we also have a couple big events coming up. This is event season for us. We always have our gala in the fall, and we're having our No Place Like Home theme. It's all around home and housing and taking care of these kids that we serve. September 7th at Embassy Suites, and then we'll have Emerald City there playing. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah, you've been. Have you been to one? Okay, so both of you. Okay,
Yeah,
so it's a fun event. So we're excited about that. But this new event that we're doing is November 2nd, and it's the kickoff of National Homeless Awareness Week, and so that's why we chose to do it then. But we're doing a Boogie Bash, a 70s theme concert at the Co-America Center, which is also right by Embassy Suites, and we have the tribute band Infinite Journey as our opener. But the other two, we have Sister Sledge coming. She's going to be singing our favorite song, We Are Family, and then Casey and the Sunshine Band. And there's going to be a costume party. So yeah. Yeah, so we have those events, and then people support us just with donations. I mean, in this new facility that we've moved to, I mean, it's amazing, the community that you'll never know. One day someone will come in and say, oh, I just did a canned food drive for y'all, or I have paper goods for you. I mean, we're running 5 properties. We have a job for anybody. If you like to cook, if you like to clean, if you like to garden, maintenance, and hanging out with the kids, the mentor program.
Well,
I think you might were a mentor.
That brings me, because on November 7th, one of the things Stacy and I wanted to do with you, and we're still planning it, so hold tight. We're still planning it. But November 7th, we're going to do a Friendsgiving with you, and it's a luncheon. We're bringing food. But one of the things we want to do is gather our friends and our clients and our podcast guests that we've had and come in. What can we bring? What's the most important? What are some of the most important things we can bring in that day that would help support you? Besides money, we can bring in money too.
Yeah,
but
of course. That's the first thing.
What things are you lacking?
But gift cards are important, and like for a resource center, we like to, the kids that are on the street, we like to give them food gift cards. $10. It's nowadays you can't get a meal at any fast food place for $5. We used to get $5 ones. Now we're saying like $10 cards, because when our clients come in from the streets and they get a shower, wash their clothes, get new clothes, a meal, they can take a gift card for maybe a dinner meal when we're not open. That's important. The other thing, and our needs change, but we also are always in need of single-serve snacks. We have a need for that because we do go out into the community. I have the outreach team has a roving team, and they go out and they hand out these Ziplocs full of snacks, and we like to try to stay somewhat healthy, peanut butter or things, kind of protein oriented, water. We'll put a mac and cheese cup in there because they can get that they can go cook it at the racetrack or whatever. And then paper goods where, we have, I always say I'm going to count how many bathrooms we have, and when I'm in this, I'm going to count, and then I forget. But, with 5 properties, we're constantly having to use paper goods, supplies, cleaning supplies. Those are some immediate things that we seem to always need. So,
do you think that our community would be surprised by the number of homeless children
Oh,
throughout
yeah.
Collin County? Do you
Yeah.
have a number, a rough number?
Well, we do a point-in-time count in January. Is it January, end of January? So it's just one night. And for Collin County, we had 1,300 homeless kids.
Say that number one more time.
1,300. And it is an even number, so yeah.
I think that
And
would
that's-
surprise a lot of people, and that's just such a huge number.
Yeah.
And with that huge number, though, you have a lot of success stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're changing lives, and one of them we've had on our show.
Right.
Ron Batongas has been on our show, and what an amazing success story. He was a success through your
Program.
organization. Stacy and I heard him when we went to your gala 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
Just amazing. And then he went on obviously to try out for American Idol
Right.
and has been successful since then. But I know you've got other success stories of kids that have come through your program, and just what an amazing job you have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we do have a lot of success stories. And what's interesting about Ron is he was in multiple programs. And that can happen as well, just depending on their age. If they come to us and they're under 18 and they turn 18, this is what I love about City House is we have options to take them into another program, and instead of saying, oh, you turn 18, we can't help you anymore. And then now with the rapid rehousing, it just extends that service, and it's a great model, for us, we believe.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think has, and then I'll let Stacy ask another question too, but what do you think has been the one thing since you've been there,
The one thing.
I mean, you get to pick one, that has impacted you the most? What one thing do you think stands out the most in the time that you've been there that you think, wow, this moment right here?
This moment. Oh, wow. God, there's been so many moments. God, it's hard to think of one, but I can think of a story where, and this is multiple stories like this, but this was recent where we had a graduate from our program. We call them graduates, and we celebrate them. And this was graduating from our transitional living program. And this young person was speaking to the current clients in that program. And his words of wisdom were phenomenal. I get chills thinking about it because he gave them such good advice. And it was great I see the case managers and they see, wow, and he gave them good solid advice about being successful in the program. And that was a real defining moment.
Can you share with us what he said?
Well, he said, work the program, do the program, do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else. Don't get in the drama. Stay out of the drama. Stay focused on your goal. If you just put all that other stuff aside and remember why you're doing this, but don't fight the program, because the program's designed for you to be successful. And so that was the message he was telling these kids, and he's not that much older than some of them sitting in the room, and I thought that it was well received by the other kids as well. It was just a great moment to see someone. And in fact, Shay is my development director I work with, and she and I were talking about him one day, and we're like, he's gonna be a speaker. He's gonna do greater things. And you just had that feeling that he gets it, and he's gonna be awesome. So that was probably one that I can remember recent, but they're every day. We actually joke about our scenarios because we think we could have a pretty good sitcom. Just change the names but the things that happen, it's never a dull moment. And it's fun, and it's sad, and it's emotional, and it's happy, and it's stressful, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Right. What do you think, and what would your advice be to somebody who maybe has a child that has made friends with somebody that has found themselves in a situation where they are needing services? What's some of the first steps maybe they should take to help that child the best possible way?
Well, we have that happen quite a bit. So we'll have a mother that had their child, young person, is friends with someone who's in a neglect or abuse, maybe potentially homeless. The best thing they can do is talk to them, tell them about City House, let them know, go on the website, let them get familiar, and to work with them to agree to come meet with us directly, and then come with them. And we have that happen, and it all depends on the ages, but it is so neat to see families that take the interest. To me, that's the opportunity. And so many of us are living our life like this in our world, and if you stop and go, ooh, maybe something's not right. Maybe I need to ask. And a family, I just love it when I see some family investing their time to help their child's friend that is in a situation. It's powerful. And some people go, what's the one thing I can do? And I always tell people, open your eyes and look around and see if there's somebody in need. And just take the time. Yeah. We live in such a fast world, and we're just zooming. And I mean, I've been guilty of it too. So, but so many people, you can see people on their face if they have a need. Yeah. Many times.
Yeah, Sheri, there's so many things I love about you, and I've known you long enough I can say that. So, first of all, you're so caring and so passionate about what you do, and you just love people, and you really dig in deep and take care of people, but you're also very fun. And the reason I say that is because I imagine that in a place where there's so much sorrow and hardship that goes on, that you try to make it fun. And I heard you say, I'm not going to skip past this. You said sometimes it's a sitcom.
Yes.
And so what do you do to liven the lives of people that are, and teenagers that are in such a serious situation, in such sorrow? What do you do to make it fun for them in a place like that?
Well, this move in particular has been really, really good because it is a very warm and welcoming place. Not that the other one wasn't. It just didn't have the right space configuration, and we talked to the kids in the back. We cut up with them, and we used to not do that because we were administrative was on the second floor, and all the clients and everything happened downstairs, and there was no mingling really. And now we can, and they get to know us, and then we're doing monthly theme days at the office. So once a month, 2 people will take it on, and so we'll have St. Patty's Day, and people will dress up, and we'll be kind of fun and that type of thing. So we do that once a month. We laugh so much at all the funny things that happens. We try not to take it too seriously. I mean, there are some serious things, but I laugh at myself a lot, which kind of makes it easy. And we I don't know. You'd have to ask staff too. Like, is it really fun? I don't know. We try to make it fun.
That's good. That's important too, because like you said, that you don't want to be burned out in your position. And same thing for these caregivers that are giving so much all the time. They have to enjoy what they're doing and really have a passion for it. So what's next for you personally with, your family, your kids? You've got, all that's going on. Your girls are working now.
Yeah, my girls are working. Not quite an empty nester, but I still enjoy having them, close by. And I see myself doing this for a while.
You do?
Yeah, I really do. I don't know if I can't work anyway. I did stay.
Sounds familiar.
I did take a hiatus between corporate and this job, and I'd been a career focused, 3 girls, husband. So I spent a year, reconnecting with people I hadn't seen in a long time, and had lunch out, gained 20 pounds, and said, I got to go back to work. So, and it's just better. I like to give back. So I don't see myself retiring. I don't even know. My husband and I had this conversation not too long ago, because it used to be maybe 10 years ago we would say, oh, when do you think we want to retire? And so now we're like, I just don't see us retiring. I think we're, it's good and productive. So keep plugging along. But I am looking forward to grandbabies at some point in time. I have one daughter married, and I know I will have some changes when that happens. And I love to travel, so I see myself doing this and travel and just enjoying life, being thankful for each day.
Well, we have about a minute left, and I think there's 2 things we didn't touch on. One is what's going on at the Resource Center with the increased traffic that you're getting there. And then the second one is the transitional living and what you're able to do for the 15 to 18-year-olds that may be coming.
Right.
So with the last minute that we have, why don't you tell us just a little bit about what's going on there?
Okay, so the Resource Center, we've seen a 55% increase since we moved a year ago this month. And so that has been real eye-opening. We think that's due to the fact that we're in a more visible location. We're in a more conducive location for them to feel comfortable and not, when they walk in, they're greeted. We have great outreach greeters. We have great staff there. But we are taxed. We could probably use more bodies back in the back to help, work with these kids. And the other thing we're exploring is some kind of facility that would house the under 18 in a transitional living program, not an emergency short term, as I said earlier, but in long term. So these kids that are 15, 16 that have found themselves kicked out and on the streets, let them come stay with us for 2 years or longer, and allow them to finish their high school, allow them to get a job, and then we can help, work with them so that they can also be successful, independent. So that's a new thing on the horizon. Now that we got the Resource Center change, that's our next big project.
It's so fascinating, and I hate to even stop the show without saying how City House got started in the first place. I don't think we can leave without saying that. Can you briefly?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was a teacher and the lead counselor for PISD. They didn't know each other, but they were going to the city council meetings, and they had the same issue. They both observed kids living out of their locker in the park and in their car, and through that they figured out they both had the same passion, and the two got together and opened the first 6-bed teen shelter in Plano.
That's good. It's a great resource, and we're so thankful that it's there, and we're thankful for you to be able to be there and lead it, and
thank you.
Make sure all the good work continues.
Thank you so much.
Well, once again, so glad to have you here. Again, thankful for Willowbend Mortgage and Craig Shrink. I'm Caralee.
I'm Stacy.
And we are your real estate professionals.
Thank you for joining us on North Texas Networkers.
Visit our website, mariposagroupdfw.com. That's MARIPOSA Group dfw.com for more information about the show and other resources. I'm Caralee.
And I'm Stacy.
And we are your real estate professionals.